So, hello, going live, or we should have gone live, I hope. Hello, I'll make sure this works. Going live, there we go, turn the volume on that thing down. Okay. Just check here. Alright, I think we're good. So, hello, welcome. This is not the usual Elite Dangerous Exploration stream. Figured, I noticed that Dear Esther had come out recently again on the PC, and I love that game. I figured it'd be a good opportunity to have a little bit of a break and try that. I had played it before, quite a while ago when it was first released, and I loved it. And apparently this Landmark Edition has got better graphics. It's like they updated it from the Source engine or something to the Unity one. So they've redone the sort of refactored the graphics and so on. Added commentary and made a few other little tweaks here and there. I'm not going to be playing with the commentary on or anything. We're just going to be doing a full playthrough. Elite Dangerous will be back on Tuesday and probably again on Saturday. So it'll be back to normal from the Tuesday evening session. But here we are. Dear Esther, if you don't know, is basically one of the original, if not the original, walking simulator games where you just walk around and stuff happens. Like as you look at things, you trigger certain events, the narrative unfolds. You see things happen and so on. So it was a bit controversial in some quarters in that people were going, "Oh, it's not a game." Well, it's kind of missing the point if you think that, really, because it's not even an interactive story because you don't really interact much with it. It's just a story that you can sort of go through. It's like instead of just watching a film, if you actually walked around and things happened, that would be it. So if you actually appreciate it for that, for what it is there, it makes a lot more sense, basically. But anyway, I will stick it on and we'll go through it. It should take 2 hours-ish, 3 hours maybe, depending on how long I stop to admire the view. I've got subtitles on as well, so you can hear what's being said. I've fiddled around with the sound settings, so everything should be audible. One thing to keep an ear out for here is the soundtrack, which is fantastic on this. It's by Jessica Curry. It's the first thing I heard by her. She also worked at the Chinese Room, the people who made this game, and later went on to do in fact, both Chinese Room and her went on to do the amazing Everybody's Gone to the Rapture game, which I heartily recommend. It's now out on PC, and that is amazing. It's again, it's a sort of walk around the town and stuff happens, but you're basically sort of seeing the end of the world from the perspective of a rural English village, I think in the 80s. It's amazing. I might actually do a playthrough of that at some point. I'm actually about halfway through playing the game anyway. I'm stuck at a hump where there's going to be a particularly emotional bit coming up, and I'm not entirely sure I'm ready for it. But it's a very good game. So I might do that later on as well. The plan with my streams was always that we're gonna, Elite Dangerous was the fallback, but I always wanted to do some other games as well. So don't be surprised if other games show up here eventually. I'll advertise it on the Twitch channel feed thing, and if you follow me on Twitter at evil.ganymede, then you can keep up with the latest updates. So the link is in the blurb below, in the panels below, and this will be going up on my YouTube channel afterwards as well, and the link is also down there somewhere as well. So without further ado, I will start playing this. I'll put the webcam away. I'll still have my audio on here, so I'll sort of commentate as we go along, but I'll basically keep quiet for the music bits and for when the narrator is talking, and we'll figure out what's going on. So here is dear Esther. Enjoy the ride. Just get the camera out of the way first. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Dear Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Let's do that. So here we are. I don't know if you saw that, but as I was approaching the lighthouse, there was a shadow that flitted across these windows, and that's a thing that happens occasionally. A lot of this stuff is kind of set up at random, so the intro blurb that we got there may be different for each time you start the game. And you're basically supposed to piece everything together from that. As you go through the game, you'll get more of those and figure out what's going on. Yeah, there was a little shadow that flitted past the windows, and I kind of rushed in here when the music started. And sometimes, if you're lucky, and you look up here, you can see at the top of the lighthouse, you could see a little shadow kind of looking down and darting away, but I think I was a bit slow getting there. But anyway, here we are. We have sort of awoken, at least, on the shore of a god-forsaken island, which is actually in the Outer Hebrides, not off the coast of Scotland, but near Scotland. It's basically a rock sticking out of the sea. If you can hear the wind and the waves here, it's it makes me want to put a coat on. Honestly, it just feels yucky. So there's not much, we can't do anything in the game other than walk around and zoom in on things. So that's all we're going to be doing. But just sort of basically listen up, enjoy the atmosphere, read the texts that show up. I'll zoom in on anything interesting. If you spot anything and you want me to have a look at it in the chat, then just let me know. I will pause. If you've got any ideas or theories, then let me know as well. Feel free to share them. So basically, we have two options. We can go down the jetty here into the horrible, wet, windy sea, or we can go up or down these paths up here. So I'm going to go into the sea, just to show you what happens, if we want to go for a swim. Look, look, look. Ooh.
Come back.
So that's what happens. So evidently, this is not a normal kind of situation here. We've kind of stuck on this island somehow. And there is nothing over here. Let's have a more detailed look around this lighthouse. So flashlight goes on. It's abandoned, obviously. A very sorry state. I mean, that wind is horrible. Then we got something here. Oh, there's a map of England. Looks like some kind of itinerary on there. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Can't really see what it says though. Here we have some music. Some Russian thing. Meh something. I don't know what that funny M letter is. Something Malenko? I don't know what that is. I can read a bit of Russian. A Hebridean history. Unfortunately, you can't interact with these books. You can't open them up or look at them. Can sweetness and honesty find happiness together in a yogurt? Well, there you go. Some kind of ad. So yeah, the obvious thing to catch our eye in here is this. So we have a can of luminous paint and a chemical formula, which I don't know off the top of my head, but it's some organic compound clearly. That somebody has daubed on the wall. It's yuck, yuck, yuck. Just the wind sounds in here is just horrible. So that's interesting. It's in a little outhouse here. More paint. This is the source of the paint, I guess. So, our options then are going up or going down. And I think if we go down, it kind of loops around to the up anyway. So let's go down. Follow along. Yeah. Beach. Could be down here. Garbage. Oh, they're lobster traps. Still okay, Brathis? It'll go up on my YouTube afterwards anyway, so have no fear.
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Just waiting for the music to end there, because the music is one of the best things about this game. So, a bit of a observation from the narrator. I like the flowery, poetic language he uses. And then we find an odd symbol here carved into the sand. It looks, kind of reminds me of the golden spiral. But it's not quite though. And then we have this symbol, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the electrical symbol for a diode or something? Something like that, maybe? So I don't know what this is like here, or what this is up to, but it's interesting. Yeah, I'll probably go quiet when the music plays, so don't be surprised if I go silent there. It's one of my favourite things about the game. So trudging along, we seem to have got to the end of the beach here. What's this?
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Okay. Getting all metaphorical there, I guess. So Esther is, the narrator is talking to Esther sometimes, and we don't know at this stage who she might be. Donnelly will show up occasionally, and Donnelly is, I think, the author of a book about these islands that will become more revealed later on. But we'll go up here and have a look. So this is a little crevice. Nothing here. That's interesting. Sometimes, again, this is one of the sort of random things of the game, every time you play it, sometimes there are things here. Oh, I saw something moving up there. That was interesting. But yeah, sometimes there's debris. I don't think we're going to get any further up here, so let's head back. The frame rate's getting a little bit jerky, but let's head back, and we will go up those stairs that we saw earlier on. So far, a bit of a mystery. Like, the island seems real. This guy is talking about tankers and things being off the shore. But we don't know why we're here. What's going on? So let's go find out. Yeah, I've been up to Scotland, like in the wilder bits, in the countryside, and I don't think the weather I got was quite as bad at the time. But yeah, when it gets windy and rainy and damp on the hills there, it really gets to your bones. Ugh. But the views are really awesome. You just got to wrap up well for them. Path going up here. So the lighthouse was over there. Can I get down? But nope. No. I'm gonna head up the path from the lighthouse there, but we can actually go back this way and go up the other path from the lighthouse, and that'll probably join up to where we need to go. Looked like the path went further up as well. We're back here again. No change here. So have I been washed ashore? Who knows? Waxing lyrical about the place anyway. And there's that aerial that I mentioned earlier on. Definitely more of a path up there. So I think this is where I scrabbled down. I could get over. Yeah, there we go. I can get over from this way anyway.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
So, there's a cave here. There's something outside it. What's this? Oh, it's another can of paint. Huh. So, this is where we scrabbled down. Interesting. So I guess I go through the cave, or I go back down the beach and up the stairs and then up over there. So let's check out the cave. This will be not creepy at all. Ew. Can I have my torch? Yeah. Oh, hey, look. You see that? There's light in the cave down there. Flashing. There is a strong Morse code thing going on in this game as well. So if anyone's good at Morse code, keep a note. There's a lot of signals and things that are in ... dash dash. A mysterious line in the sky. Yeah. Well, I guess this is where Donnelly... Was it where Donnelly lived, or did he describe the hermit in a cave that lived? Well, that was mildly creepy. Can we get across here without plummeting to our dooms? No, it's okay. I don't need my legs. I'm fine. Alright. Back over to the stairs then. Very mysterious. Past the lobster tracks again. Right, here's the stairs. Get away from the beach here, it'll probably be a little bit less windy and noisy and generally cold and damp feeling. So far, so mundane though, like it's nothing particularly untoward has happened. Alright, so let us head up here to new monologues.
A wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
There's a stone circle? Wait. Huh. I didn't see a stone circle. Maybe there's one further up. It's kind of hard to see the path here. Where are we? There we are. Rubbish scattered around. Header, I think this is. Everywhere.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
So those lines up ahead in the cliff face there, that's what he's talking about. Kind of seem to imply that the narrator and this island are kind of linked there. Can we go up there? Is that a route up at all? I feel like I'm cheating a bit here though. I don't want to miss anything just because I skipped a bit apart, so maybe I won't. So let's continue. Neat. I wonder if we can get to those. Hey, there's a stone circle over there. This looks like a stone circle. It's like lavender or something, supposedly.
I quote directly, "A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most God-forsaken of all the inhabitants of the outer isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?"
So yeah, Donnelly clearly spent some time here. Let's go down this lower path if we can. There's a fence. There it is. Okay. Go down this bit and have a look. Apparently, there doesn't seem to be anyone around now. Men here of some kind. Marker to mark out the way. Really disorganized bunch of twisty paths. They all just generally go in this direction though. And then hemmed off here, so I guess we go down here. And that's the other side of the lighthouse. You can see that over there. Here is that cave that we saw. I wonder if we'll see who did the flashing lights.
"Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
So there's another character, Paul. Something to do with Esther and the narrator. Wolverhampton, if you are watching and not British, is a town in England. I have never been there myself. The Damascus thing as well, that's something that crops up a lot in this. We'll hear a bit more about that. You hear that? It's like a radio.
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why? Asked the farmers. Why? Asked Jakobsen. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
So there's another person there. So there's a hermit, and then there's this Jakobsen, who I guess is another inhabitant of the island. Hello? Ooh. Well. No sign of anyone with a torch. Oh, there we go. I've got a torch. That's something. What are these? Now that looks like a what do they call them? Ganglion synapse thing, neuron, one of the brain things. I think it's a ganglion. I don't know, but yeah, it looks like a cell from the brain. What's going on here? More of this stuff. I suppose I should secure the perimeter here and make sure I'm not getting snuck up on. Same formula as before. I don't know what this is. Like a diode thing again. And I don't know, a lobster? I don't really know what that is. Yeah, is that a diode symbol, this arrow with the line? More ganglion type things. Or trees. What's this? A tie. Clothes, basically. Fish. Moldy bread. Somebody's been here for sure. As if they were flashing the light at me earlier on. They seem to have moved on. Oh, it's a sleeping bag. Oh. Yeah, somebody's definitely been here. Bit of paper. Interesting. Somebody's fancying themselves as a bit of an artist. Or brain cells, apparently. So, oh hey look. think it wants me to go that way. Let's see if I can look at the boat. Right, losing myself in the music there. I didn't want to get to the boat halfway and then end up in the water and sent back to the shore and then the music cut off there. So I wanted to just let that finish. So let's see, can we get here? No, we're getting. No, no, I don't think we can get that. I was just about to go under. So yeah, that seagull conveniently pointed us in the direction we are supposed to be going, I think, which is down this little valley. Let's get out of the water. Get out of the waves. Get out of the water. To quote another awesome nautical tale by Kate Bush. Right, I'm probably taking way longer doing this than most people would, but I'm kind of admiring the view. Explore everything. As you imagine from me playing Elite Dangerous, I am a bit of an explorer. I like to go into every nook and cranny of an area, see what I can find. So now we're down in this valley.
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
That's icky imagery. So again, that boat without a bottom imagery from before, that tale related by Donnelly, we used there. So let's check this out. It's weird that I thought I heard a radio back there. Didn't hear it again. kind of Bible. I do love stone circles. So look up here. Can we go up here? Is this a thing? Like there's a path, but I don't know if I can get to it. So there's a fence up there, but maybe I have to go around. It's still windy, but at least we've got the sea blowing in our faces. That's that little crevice that we were in. Well, that's not the way onwards, so let's go off to the left. Such as this rock has an inland. A drop. Oh, next bit of the game.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sandford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore. I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him, they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean, into oblivion.
Got a sort of ocean equals death kind of thing going on there. So yeah, here's a new vista to enjoy, a shipwreck. And there's a buoy out in the ocean there. Ding? Is that the... No, I guess the buoys have bells on them, don't they? Like eerie. What does that say? And neither did he eat nor drink. Odd thing to write on the side of a boat. Let's go check it out. Yeah, I do wonder, you know, it's got a point, like, why would anybody live somewhere like this? I mean, the isolation or something? Because it's all they have? Clamber among the rocks. Boxes. Sounds are very eerie. I guess this is where all the luminous paint came from. There's odd bits everywhere. Can I get on the boats? Oh. There's no jump button in this, so I'm stuck with being on the ground, unfortunately. Flowery around here. To shelter anyway. Well, definitely a sorry state.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
So, we have there's a map of the road, no, a map of England at the beginning there that we saw on the table, with some kind of road trip itinerary. He was talking about the Sandford exit of the M5, which is a motorway in England. And now he's talking about the car of a drunk. So, and he was looking for something between was it Sanford and the welcome break services. So I wonder if like an accident happened or something. That's where he came from? Or somewhere else? Maybe he came down there. Oh. A big hole in the ground. Oh, and a little house. Ooh, okay, hang on. I'm gonna go back. I just want to check out the far side of the bay there. I think this is where we are supposed to be headed. Back towards that big hole. Which it doesn't seem like a good idea to stand too close to, but let's just make sure there's nothing else down here. Yeah, and neither did he eat nor drink. Oh, what's this?
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Again, I guess there's that imagery of the boat with no bottom and things rising up from below. Can't get any further here, but what on earth is this? So, another circle, and then again, it's like some kind of electrical diagram. I don't know, I'm not versed in electrical diagrams very well. I vaguely remember what a resistor and a diode is, but... Alright. Let's head back to follow the path then. Interesting little shipwreck. Shame we can't get on the boat though. It's a little unfortunate. So let's take the low road this time.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
Well, I don't want to really go much further than that, but yikes, that's a big hole. No railings. Wow, I mean, if there's dead shepherds down there, then no wonder. Health and safety here. Terrible. Can I make it? Apparently I can't make it. There we go. That's a little bit better. Take the middle road. Pretty sure I don't want to fall down there. Now, oh, houses. Must be where the shepherds lived or something.
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the centre. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Whoa. Huh. I think there's somebody over there. You see, there's that little light in the cave over there and a shadow. And I don't know if you noticed, but as I was walking up, I was being really quiet there just because I love the music here. Like, this is one of my favourite bits of the soundtrack. But as I was walking up towards the bothy, which is this building here, I'll come down and I'll point it out here. There was a shadow. It looked like there was somebody kind of between the door and the right hand window. And as I walked up, it moved into the door. So maybe it's the ghost of Jakobsen, which is really creepy. There's bits in this game that just give me goosebumps. It's just, you know, did not expect that. But, yeah. I just didn't want to point it out there because I had the music playing and it was a very eerie kind of scene. But I just want to have a look at this little building here, which I didn't check out. So poor old Jakobsen was a farmer who built this place, and then he died of goat disease. Kind of sucked for him, really. It's a little stable, a little bit of shelter. He says as the wind howls through. The hell was that? That sounded like an engine. Did that sound like an engine? Yeah, maybe I missed something there. I should have looked up or something, but that sounded like something, like a plane or something going overhead. Very strange. So anyway, let's go check out this bothy. I don't know what these lines are here, like a... I mean, one's obviously a path, but the rest of these are like... They look like walls for something, but for what? Like foundations or something? Huh. Let's go have a look. See if there's any sign of our ghost. And if it's the same person who, the same figure that we saw down at the lighthouse. Hello?
Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
So, a reflection of what was, I guess, in the narrator's place? Yeah, backwards. What have we got here? Bottles, cans, a bathtub bucket thing. No bed. There's that figure in the cave over there. The light. It's looking at us apparently. The trunk. Someone's been here, obviously. I don't think that's Donnelly. I mean, they didn't have sleeping bags in the well, not Donnelly, but the Jakobsen. Didn't have sleeping bags in the 1700s. Fireplace. Wow. Where the hell did you come from? Yeah, there's definitely a figure in that cave. Go say hi to him in a minute. There's something over here as well, isn't there? another one of these. I guess if the other pictures in the cave were brain cells, then I guess that must be some kind of brain cell as well. Most mysterious. No sign of our observer though. Another... oh. It's not a chemical formula. It's a electrical diagram again. Again, don't know what that means. Well, I guess the seagull was scared the living crap out of me, but that was pointing the way to where we should be going. Down here, I guess. Oh, hey, the figure's gone. It's moving away. He was just sitting there waiting for us to just walk down the caves. Or walk down the path here. Bit of a drop. Treacherous. Oh look, there's like a boat or a boat wreck.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
Wait, is there a skeleton around here? I didn't see one. Maybe it's down there. This is treacherous. No wonder, like, slipped and fell, he would have been dashed to bits. So, I guess the other side of this cliff was where they had the parallel lines and stuff.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Halfway up the cliff. Did I miss it then? Is there a skeleton? Just make sure we're a little in this direction first. Oh, a little beach. Yeah, traffic cone. And a vase? Herb? Yeah, did I miss the... Did I miss the skeleton? Because I had the voiceover there. I didn't see anything. Pop back up a little. It said halfway up the cliff. Poor Jakobsen though, did not have a great life there, did he? Somewhere around here, isn't it? No? I don't see no bones. Maybe he's down on the floor, I don't know. I don't see anything here though. Alright, let's head back down. Get onto that beach and keep going. So yeah, I don't think I could get further than that little tiny little beach there. So let's go back down to here. Keep going. Check out this boat. Donnelly and Jakobsen build this. Viking boat or something? Looks like it. Some kind of long ship. A cave. Huge ominous looking cave.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Well, apparently we've broken our leg. Let's sure when that happened, but that's not great. We're hobbling on. Have a look at this very deep ravine here. Hey, there's bits. Hebridean history. That's all that says. What's this? Map. Things ripped out of the book. There's lots of this. Yeah. It's a lot of... wow. So someone really likes this Hebridean history book, which presumably is by our friend Donnelly. Volume 1. Huh. Interesting. Odd thing to find. I think we're at the halfway point here. Well, let us struggle on. The only way out is through, by the looks of it. If we are indeed ever leaving. Let us set forth to the dark. Candle. Well, I guess that's where that big hole came out. Also, candle lit means that somebody has been here recently. Ah! Ow. That probably didn't help my broken leg.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing inconstantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of music in this bit, so I may be quiet. Just enjoy the sounds and the sights.
I first saw him sat by the side of the road. I was waiting for you to be cut out of the wreckage. The car looked like it had been dropped from a great height. The guts of the engine spilled over the tarmac, like water underground.
No other way to go, right? Guess we had to climb up or we'd go down to that little pool. There we go. There's a way out. That's very pretty though, eh? I'm amazed I'm not sliding around everywhere here. My feet are very slippery. don't know where I'm going, but it's very pretty. It must be really cold and wet here as well. Die of hypothermia before I get anywhere. So that's where I came in, fell down, wended my way up, came out there, and over here, and then to here. Yes, this is the phosphorescent moss and little glowy jellyfish mushroom things. How far does this go?
I am traveling through my own body, following the line of infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. I swallow fistfuls of painkillers to stay lucid. In my delirium, I see the twin lights of the moon and the Ariel shining to me through the rocks.
Crystals. Another symbol. Hey, I'm actually being carried along. Where does this take me? This grotto is quite amazing. to these. Paper boats. Huh. Letters or something. How odd. Get back up here. Huh. So again, circuit diagrams, neurons on the walls. Head over to that little beach there. I suppose I can go over the bridge. Oh, it's ashes. It is an urn. Well, sounds from what he said earlier that there was a car crash, presumably on the M5, and that was the place he was looking for, because he was talking about first time I saw you, it was when you were being cut from the wreckage. So I presume it's Esther. And him sitting by the side of the road is presumably his Paul. So like, are we in a coma or something? Is this all in our heads? You know, the aftermath of the crash. Just keep searching for answers. More ganglions. Can't fit up there. Very spiky walls.
I will hold the hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Huh. Well, I guess this is where the big hole was that we saw outside. Again, the headlights, car crash type thing. Crematorium chimney referencing the ashes that we found. I wonder what happens if I go in here. Hello? Anything down here? No. I don't know if I can get out. There we go. Yeah, I'd be curious as to what these are. Looks like a heating element or something, but and what this formula is. Oh, hello. Wow. Someone went a bit crazy with the paint here. Behold, Damascus is taken. I wonder if this is a biblical reference. Isn't it Paul on the road to Damascus sees a light, I think. I'm very fuzzy on the story, and then becomes Christian or something, but what is this? That's Damascus is taken backwards, or inverted, mirrored. Wow, this is, it's like a sort of stream of thought here. What the heck? Damascus is taken. Wow. This is mildly unnerving. Away from being a city. And it shall be a what? A ruinous heap? I think that says. Away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. And it shall be a ruinous heap away from being a city. Huh. I don't know what that means. There is a lot of enigmatic stuff in this game, if you hadn't gathered that already. Huh. Well, more water. Let's go dive in. enchanting music underwater. And it went away. I suppose there's a lot of symbolism here as well that I'm probably missing because I'm terrible at symbolism. Ah! Oh. Well. Huh. So, this is a motorway, I guess. That's a motorway sign. Western on Mare, something or other. Portishead. Nice. Something dock. I guess Portishead is kind of near. It's in the west of England somewhere, isn't it? Near Bristol. Near where this happened, anyway. Which I guess was between, was it Sandford and some services? But this is evidently the crash. Is there anyone in the car? Maybe I'm going back through my memories here or something. This island does seem to be a kind of allegory or whatever for the narrator. No. What? Back again. That was weird. If you can hear a little clicky noise, that's just me taking a screenshot. So, let's just take a moment and figure out what the heck is going on. So apparently, this car crash thing is weighing heavily on the narrator's mind, and if this island is something to do with some kind of internal dreamscape of his, but if it isn't really a real island, then yeah, it seems like we're in a kind of comatose kind of fantasy world or something in his head, when we're kind of working things out from this crash that somehow involved Esther and Paul. Oops. Heading up. Just said achievement unlocked, Esther. I think we're in the last segment of the game here. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. out of the caves. We find a tent.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
Out that way. This is gorgeous. So if you notice, the piano there was echoing the Morse code at the end, which I think, I tried to figure it out last time I played, and I think the Morse code is actually Damascus. But yeah, I love that piano music there. So what's going on? Where is this leading us? Can't see the aerial. Oh no, there it is. Hey, there's the aerial. That, I guess, is our destination, since that's what we seem to be going towards. Yeah, what a gorgeous scene, eh? Clamber down here and have a look at these, whatever they are. Are they called sand breaks or something, maybe?
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
Ah, well, Esther is related to Donnelly. I presume she isn't actually Donnelly. Must have been an ancestor. Like I said, it's all very enigmatic, this game. It's more just for the atmosphere. As you follow these candles, there's clearly a trail. Oh, what's this? It's a photo. Is that Esther? I'm pretty sure I saw something move in the reflection there. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid. There was a shadow there. There's that aerial. So, funny thing, like near where I live, well, near, about 50-minute drive from where I live, is an aerial like that on a hill, and this, ever since I played this game, always reminds me of that lonely aerial. Follow this trail. Guess there's more of those parallel lines. More little caves. That was eerie. But more car related stuff. Again, car crash. So either I'm comatose from a car crash here, or there's some kind of...
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
Yeah, like I was saying, like, or this is a mindscape of some kind. Is that a person in the reflection there? Okay, that's really creepy. Holy crap. Oh my god. That is really cool. Our ghostly friend. Oh man. Nice. I thought it had gone. Hello? Wow. I don't think I've seen that before. That's really cool. Yeah, so funnily enough, so that kind of explains the chemical symbols and things. I guess he's talking about Paul, who was also involved in the crash. But funnily enough, that goes back to that yogurt advert that we saw right at the very beginning. That actually has some relevance. Cool, hello, there's some written here. A light from heaven. Interesting. That star just... Stars are going out, that's weird. A light from heaven shone around him. Yeah, have a look at the stars up there. They're kind of fading in and out. It's very odd. A light from heaven shone around him. So again, probably biblical reference, I would imagine. Oh, this is so cool. Where is the path? Where's the candlelight going here? Oh, that shadow in the candle reflection was very creepy. As is this music.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Ah, so that's what the paper boats were. Except half of them are collected back in the cave, but there's some out here as well. 2004, and then it's something to depart Japan on something invalid passport. I wonder if they're all the same or if they're different. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, they're kind of all the same, but interesting. About this little building. Like, who built this, for God's sake? I mean, this is, I guess whoever built the aerial. This is a bit out of the way. What's in there? On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. So, yeah. Eggs, nest, rebirth, maybe? Yeah, that is obviously a, I think that's obviously a biblical reference to the story of Saul and Paul. Anyway, can I see what's in here? No. Well, that's the end of the beach, I think. We've come a long way. More of our paper boats. Well, time to return, I think. So yeah, I think the story of Paul, or was it Saul? Was it Saul became Paul or Paul became Saul? I can't remember. But that story was a kind of rebirth thing as well, wasn't it? So, should I go up here or should I go back along the beach? I'll go back up here. I think this is where we need to go. Climb up to the aerial. So yeah, I think we're trying to resolve something for ourselves here. It's the general gist of this. Guilt about the accident, maybe. And I think this is like a mindscape of us, and we're, you know, in a coma or something.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
I think he's definitely getting his metaphors confused there now. Like, what's this? It's like a train track? Why would anyone have a train track here? Or a minecart or something. Oh, that's interesting. And a candle. Oh, look. Yeah, this is all definitely blurring together in my head here, isn't it? You know, what would a sign from the M5 be doing out here if this was real? So obviously isn't. There's all sorts of things crashing together here as I'm trying to resolve it. So I think we might have missed a little bit down at the beach. I think there was a little higher pathway down there that I think we're skipping. But that's okay. Hey look, there's a person up there. By the lights, you see it in the middle? Or a shadow anyway. Something leading us on. Try and investigate who it is. Is it still there? Or she, or it, or whatever. Hello?
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Well, the figure has gone. And as he was proceeding on his journey, that figure is very mysterious. So, and as he was proceeding on his journey, oh my god, there's more stuff here. And was come near to Damascus.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Synapses, I guess maybe that's what was being drawn. So, the brain cell stuff. And he was 3 days without... Hard to read from this close. And he was 3 days without sight. And neither did he eat nor drink. So as he was proceeding on his journey, and was come near to Damascus, and he was 3 days without sight, and he did neither eat nor drink. I think the Bible likes starting off its sentences with "and," doesn't it? Because I believe these are biblical quotes. It's getting dark. Nearing the end, I think.
There are headlights reflected in these retinas, too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
Well, that was definitely getting everything all tangled up there, wasn't it? Wedding rings. And it came to pass that as I made my journey, something, okay, it's going gonna have to read this from up close. Nearly there. At the end of this all. Poor confused person here. And so it came to pass, as I made my journey. And was too close, and was some and was come and was come nigh into Damascus, maybe? I think. A bit hard to see up close. There's more things. Something new. Suddenly, I should probably watch where I'm going here. Suddenly, the shine from heaven, a great light round about me, and could not see.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
Anyway, what was it? It was this bit, and he could not see something, the glory, that light. Wow, it's gonna be windy. Very windy. That light being led by the hand of right, now we're going to read this backwards. That were with me. Came into that road with me. Damascus. I came into Damascus. Yes, this is Damascus.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent. Come back.
So there we go. Yeah, the the whole pretty much from when I entered the aerial station, that was a big scripted event thing. Yeah, well, there we go. It's very, like I said, it's very enigmatic. Not entirely sure what to make of it. I think it's kind of designed to be, played through several times and you piece together more of the bits. But yeah, it's a pretty cool experience anyway. The soundtrack is amazing. You can get that separately. It's well worth getting. The visuals are very good. The narration is certainly very emphatic. And it's just a really neat little thing. And yeah, we've done it in pretty much 2 and a bit hours. So that was pretty much what I expected. So that was Dear Esther. It is available on Steam. I think it's pretty cheap, but it's worth going through yourself and having a good look around. I think I was fairly thorough with most of what I was looking at, but there's different bits of narration pop up with different playthroughs. As I was testing this, yesterday I was just setting things up, making sure the sound was okay and all that, but I kept restarting it, and the opening narration was different each time. You sort of pick, the different bits of that will show up during the game, so the more you play it, the more you get all the pieces, or of course you can just look it up, but where's the fun in that, that was Dear Esther by the Chinese Room. Very awesome. Like I said, I might play Everybody's Gone to the Rapture again at some point. I might play that. Let me just get my screen back here, hang on. There we go. So yeah, I might play Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. That could be an interesting one. That'll take a few more sessions to get through, and that's a lot more of a coherent, more coherent story. This was very sort of artsy and enigmatic, whereas Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is a lot more straightforward, but it's longer and it's amazing. So I would like to do that. That could be a fun one. But meanwhile, this will go up on my YouTube. It'll go up on my YouTube at usual place in the link below. Elite Dangerous will continue as normal from Tuesday. So hopefully I will see you then. So Tuesday 6 till 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and then back again Saturday, and we'll see where we end up. There we go. I'll quieten that down a little bit. So hopefully see you then. Hopefully you enjoyed this little special playthrough. I may do more games or other games at some point. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.